there we are, the artist of the day. Gioia, right?
Gioia.
Right, Fonda. So this is a woman who I just met yesterday, actually. We've kind of connected on Facebook, but John introduced me to her, and I do want to thank you for coming, and this is great. We'll have people trickle in possibly, and but I want to know what you do.
Okay.
What do you do?
Well, I am what I call an interdisciplinary artist. So I use lots of different media. Sometimes I'm a painter, but I do so much more than paint. So I also make sculptures sometimes, or photography, or sewing. I do a lot of work on my sewing machine. So I'm kind of all over the place. So the term that covers that best is interdisciplinary. I think that people know my work because of my use of color and pattern. I use a lot of colors and a lot of patterns. And a lot of times my work, it's abstract, but I like to tell stories. So even though it looks like it's just shapes and colors, it's often based on a particular place or a person or an experience. A lot of times my work will reference things that I've read about or heard on the news. And then lately I've really been doing a lot of public artwork. So artwork for places where everybody can enjoy it and nobody has to feel like they have to buy it or pay money to see it. And so that really resonates with my values as an artist, to have my work in places where it's accessible to everyone.
I love that. Have you done any murals or anything like that with other artists?
I've helped people do murals. I'm not a muralist, although I would like to try my hand at that at some point. I might even teach a class on it in the spring, because I'm, I know a lot about murals and I paint. And so it's just painting big and painting on the wall. The previous person that was teaching murals is 82 now, and I don't want him to climb ladders anymore. So at some point, there's a time in every teacher's career where you're teaching something that maybe you have not done a lot of, but if you know how to teach, you know how to learn. So I'll figure it out quickly. But there was a project on Power in Road where they had us paint on dumpsters. And so I painted on a huge dumpster. That's kind of like a mural. I think John also had a dumpster out there. There's a mural on the K Street Mall on what used to be Tower Records. It's now Solomon's Delicatessen, and there's a beautiful kind of psychedelic mural. And I was on the team that helped restore that.
That's awesome. I really like you said, public, where people can go and just see your art, because, doing what I'm doing now with Ask Your Artist series, I'm learning and being able to meet people that I've never met before.
Hi, Jenna.
Hi, we're doing an interview. You guys want to listen?
Yeah.
Okay. And
hi, William, and hi, Steve.
Actually, that's Liz. She's using her husband's.
That works too.
Yeah,
hi, Liz.
I know. It's like, okay, it's no big deal. But because it's free, and I think, I'm learning a lot about everybody else's art and what they do, and I'm able to, expand on that, which is, what artists, I like to let people know what I'm doing, like you're doing. So what inspired you from your earliest thinking or your earliest ideas of art? What was it as a child even?
Well, I think I'm pretty lucky. My mom is an artist. She was never like a professional artist or, a person trying to really have a career selling her work, but she was trained as a graphic designer in the 50s. And then by the time I came along in the 70s, she had been mostly raising, my brothers and then me, but she always supplemented the household income with by using her artistic talents. So she would like decorate fancy people's Christmas trees or paint windows in town for holidays or do window displays or do bridal bouquets or paint murals in a coffee shop. So my mom always, she had great facility. She knew how to draw and she knew how to use materials. And if she didn't know, she'd figure it out. And so she's kind of my touchstone of, I guess, just being exposed to art. I mean, she didn't push it on me, and I don't want it to make it sound like we had like a really avant-garde or artistic household. It was really just a matter of, the type of art that people in a small rural community would need. But she, would do those things, and she worked with her hands a lot. And so whenever I went in, she always had a studio. And she would win like little regional art competitions. And so I guess that just was modeled for me as an option. And growing up, I could dabble, like she never discouraged me from making a mess or trying something out. And there was always a lot of art supplies around. But like I said, she really didn't say like, let me sit down and show this to you or show you how to do this. Or, it was just, I guess, just something that I thought people did. It was always kind of surprising when I went to other people's houses and their moms didn't have a studio. That didn't seem normal to me. So my brothers are a lot older than me. They're like 20 years older than me. And so I was sort of an only child, and I spent a lot of time by myself. And I had a doll house, and I really did not like dolls. The dolls didn't appeal to me, but the house did. And so I liked to draw the wallpaper and make little dishes and little bowls of fruit out of Fimo. And I liked the world I could create in my dollhouse. And so I think that's one of my first kind of artistic endeavors. I played a lot with Legos, and I had a hamster that I would build elaborate mazes for. So I think play is a big part of my practice.
Right.
And
from Sacramento or from this area, or just?
Not really. I was born in Alameda, which is in the Bay Area.
Yeah, my daughter lives there.
It's a great town. I love Alameda. And then when I was about 11, we moved to Oakdale, which is a cowboy town. And so I went through a big culture shock. I really didn't like moving. I was away from all my friends, and I like to roller skate and go to the beach. And so taking me to Oakdale, it wasn't a good transition. They offered a horse, but I had no interest in I didn't know what to do with a horse. So I didn't want to have anything to do with any of that. I just wanted to hang out with my friends in Alameda. So that was a rough transition, but I think in the end, I think it was a really good thing because I didn't fit in, and that kind of builds you to be an artist because you don't fit in a lot of times when you're an artist. And it was so boring there, but I think that was good because I had to fill the time with other things, and I got involved with dance and theater and projects and just keeping myself occupied. And so I think sometimes that kind of boredom is a gift because you fill it with other activities that you have to generate. You don't have a cool place to go hang out, so you have to come up with your other ways to entertain yourself.
It sounds like, when I was growing up, I was in the middle of nowhere and I didn't do a lot. And I love plants. So I got involved with plants, and then we had a few acres. And, that's the first time I ever remember seeing or doing anything. And my mother, I found out, actually did art, but I didn't know this for so many years, and which was a nice little gem to know. So have you always done what you're doing now, color types of work?
Yeah, I think that's been a through line through all of the things. I mean, this sounds kind of crazy to go back this far, but like I won a couple little art competitions when I was a kid, and I think that kind of plants a seed too. Again, that's only possible if you have a parent or someone who's like encouraging you to enter an art competition. But like I wasn't winning any soccer trophies. There's no, as much as I tried to get into a spelling bee, that wasn't where it was at for me. So the few indicator, you know, I had a few little arrows that said like, this is a good direction for you, you know.
It's nice that your parents were so open that you could make your own path. And that's frustrating, I think, for a lot of people in just day to day. And I know that Short Center North, we do try and not make them do what we want them to do. We want them to do what they want to do. We want to give them all the stuff that they do, and, you know, try and give them some ideas, but, you know, at the end, it's their art. So
yeah, I think not having to fight that battle of wanting to be an artist and not being encouraged to be an artist has been a real gift to me. I mean, my dad was an engineer and then put himself through law school and was an attorney. And so he was really focused on my academics for a long time and really pushed, you know, my performance in school. And I resented that he just didn't see any other aspect of my personality for the longest time. And he'd say, like, you can go to art school like your mom, but after you go to Berkeley and you go to law school and engineering school. And I took him at his word for the longest time. And it wasn't until I got a little bit older that I was like, wait, I don't have to go to those, I don't have to take that path, you know. And by the time I decided to go to art school, he didn't care where I went as long as I went to college. And I think that was the thing, you know, when I see the young people that I work with, I'm just glad that they're at school, and I think that's a good place for them to figure it out. And it's okay to change your mind. Just because you, like, I have a lot of students that want to be animators or game designers. Well, just because you like animation or you like games doesn't mean that you want to design them. I mean, that's a different, you know, I like movies, but I don't want to become a movie director. So, it's, but you have to kind of try things out before you realize what fits right for what you can do and what you want to do and what you have the patience for. And
it's a long. Hi, Stephen. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. I was gonna unmute.
Oh, he's got a drawing. He's showing a drawing.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's great.
So I was going to give you guys 10 minutes after the whole class is done, so you guys can ask questions and you can show your art. I'd love that. So we're going to focus on her because I know you guys all want to, you know, raise your hand. So we try not to get too like structured. It gets a bit noisy sometimes if I get them all. And so I never usually mute them, period. So you said earlier that you had all your expression, things that have gone on day to day, you put into your artwork, and that caught me because every piece of art has a story. And so during the COVID year, was your art changed drastically, or was it just a little bit tweaked here and there?
Well, I mean, I think because of COVID, I've been very busy teaching online. And so that has been a real shift for me. And that's where I've seen the biggest shift in my day-to-day practice is just how I'm teaching and what I'm valuing in my teaching space. My art making, I've been kind of bogged down with the teaching so much. I haven't been in my studio as much as I normally would be. And then on top of that, I've had these public art projects. So I've been so focused on doing those that I haven't really made a whole lot of new paintings or anything. But the public art projects have been an interesting experience for me because I've been working with other people and lots of helpers and having to kind of let go of control a little bit, but still deliver something that looks close to what I designed. And in that project, I can show you guys a picture of it. I was working with a new material that I'm not really a ceramicist, but I was working with clay tiles and glaze. And so that's, you know, to the untrained eye, it looks like, oh, it's just paint, but it really is not paint at all. It's you know, it changes, color changes and the texture changes when you fire it. And so it's, you know, I'm used to, as a painter, I mix up a color and that's it. That's what it looks like. But with glaze, there's this other step that's a lot of things are going to change. And so you have to have the forethought to either make a choice that's going to work or to just be open to how it turns out.
Right.
So that's been different.
Well, you can show us now if you want. That would be
okay.
Did you want me to give you control to show your screen, or?
Yeah, if I share the screen, I can just make an image show up.
I'm not sure. Let's see. I've never, hold on, Steve. Just 1 minute, okay?
All right.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna try and get, it's been a while since I've done any of these.
Oh, I get it. My whole life is like trying to figure out how to make Zoom do what I want it to do.
I'm trying to remember how I did this before. Oh yeah, I was gonna make you the host. That's what I was gonna do. So I'll make you the host and you can share your screen.
And who's this visiting us in the background there?
Where? Oh, that's Jack the Ripper. Hi, buddy. Are you telling me that you want some food?
Okay, so I'm going to share the screen. Let me pick an image to share with you.
Okay. Want some food? Okay. I'll be right back, you guys.
How you doing?
Good.
I'm Steve.
Hi, Steve.
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm feeling happy today. It's really nice
good.
out. Sunny.
I know Paul. He's my cousin.
Yeah?
He's an artist too.
Okay.
Yeah. He lives down here with her mom.
It's inspiring to know artists, right?
Yeah, he's an artist. Yeah. He's my uncle.
I'm glad you have someone to inspire you.
Yeah, I thought I got some clay from him. I make chairs, I make mohawks, I make all the stuff, weaving, like a blanket, wall blanket. I at Catherine's room, and so I want to sell it.
Cool. Well, I'll come to the next sale.
And we got paint down here too at work.
That's Melissa's boyfriend.
Hey, so let's
Hey, honey.
hey, Robin, can you put yourself on mute because I can hear your background. Thank you. Oh, that's beautiful.
So that's the piece that I been working on for the last year.
Wow, how big is that?
It's pretty.
It's 9 feet tall and 37 feet long.
Wow.
So this is what it looks like in the space. Whoops.
Oh my goodness.
I got a different image here.
That's beautiful.
I don't know what you guys can see. Can you see the one going down the hallway?
The long hallway, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow, that's neat. Where is it located?
So this is at the new California Health and Human Services building on O and 13th Street.
Right. Okay.
And so part of my idea is what I pitched was that I was interested in making, like, the California Health and Human Services, they help people
Hello.
when they're brand new. So they help infants, they help people at the end of their life, they help people when they're in recovery, they help people who are infirmed. I mean, the California Health and Human Services makes sure we have ambulances, or when we call 911, someone will come. They help in a pandemic or a natural disaster. So I really thought about all the different agencies that work in the building and how much all of it comes down to, like, caring for the people of California, and that even if we ignore them, if we think that they don't matter to our daily lives, everybody who's lives a life in California is going to be intimately touched by the services provided by the people who work in that building. And so I thought about quilts and how much care goes into making a quilt, and that a quilt is there to comfort people. And I just thought that it's also like all of those facilities, all those agencies in one building. So there's all these tiles that make up this one piece. It has to be collaborative effort. We all have to care together to care for everyone. So that was kind of the storytelling behind the quilt that I made. That's just tile. Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's amazing, the colors. You're so right, because part of the growing ways of people putting things together, like say the hospitals, even when my mother passed away, they asked me for a piece of her cloth or something that was dear to her, and they were going to make a quilt out of it, you know, and it really touched me, and that kind of thing means a lot, definitely, because like you say, we're connected in everything that we do.
Want me to get your dad's?
I'm thinking that you might want to give me back
yeah, have it back. Yeah,
host, and then we'll ask some questions, you guys, because I know we're like I could do this like 3 or 4 times with you, because obviously, you know, there's so much I want to ask, and we just touched on it just briefly.
Yeah.
So,
how do I give the thing back to you?
So up where it's where you have my name, like if you see all of everybody's name, the participants,
yes,
click that and it'll say host, and then you say more, and then you can give me back the host.
All right, I'm going to try to figure that out. Hold on, participants.
So, yeah, and then you'll see my name and see your name.
Yes, more, and then allow.
Making quilt.
Yeah. So I don't have a whole big quilting background, just a tiny bit, but I do collect fabric, and I have a sewing machine, but I wouldn't call myself a sewer, you know.
Right.
Hey, somebody else.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
This is a pillow that was made for Cindy's father a few years back.
That's
and
beautiful.
all of these are pieces of sweaters that he wore all the time.
Oh,
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So it's just like one of those, oh my gosh, I know what they're talking about.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Cindy loves this.
Does anybody have anything they want to talk about or show? I know Stephen wanted to show something, but I think he's on the, are you on the phone? Okay, well, why don't you show us, oh, well, we can't really see that. Why don't you show us your picture?
Oh, I know. I got one in my box.
Anybody have any questions that you can unmute yourself? You can show.
Looks like Liz is showing us something. Liz is showing us a painting.
Liz, I can't hear you. You're on mute. That is just going to be the saying of the year. You're on mute.
Okay.
You're muted.
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
Got some pots. Those look great.
Those are his three.
Yeah, I got a dozen of them. I made this one. In the middle, it's a heart.
You have to put it up further.
A little bit higher. Hey, look at that. That's wonderful.
And I made this
Fruit Loops would taste good in that bowl. There's a chair.
One too.
Yeah. So you kind of understand what I'm talking about with the dollhouse. It's fun to make small things.
Yeah, I like small stuff. But I make a you know, that's like a needle and thread, a needle and all that stuff I made.
Oh, your quilt.
You tell her about it.
Hey, you made a quilt, right?
A quilt. I made a whole bunch of big quilt.
Yeah, Annie made a quilt as well. Let's give Annie a minute.
And Melissa too. She made.
Let me see Annie's.
I don't have
Annie.
In my.
Oh, I think I've purchased a tote bag by Annie. That
I'm sure you have. She's got some really, and Liz, her stuff is just amazing.
Yeah, great use of color, Liz.
That is really beautiful.
Yeah, short center artist as well. And I did a bag and I'm embroidering it now.
Wonderful. I'm a big fan. Every time I go to a short center show, money just jumps out of my pocket. I love it.
I know. I'm trying to get them to be able to get a place where we can sell it again. I'm trying to talk to John about how that's going to work.
Yeah, that would be great. We used to, my friend and I used to run a gallery called Tangent Gallery, and we had a show once a year that was a short center show.
Oh, I remember that. Do you remember Kristen Beals? Well, she's Kristen Beals Taylor now. She was an artist there.
Yeah.
Liz, what else? What else you got?
Ooh, another embroidery project here.
Oh, that's pretty. I don't know if I can hear you, Liz, but that's okay. You can just show us your art.
Mouse. It's a Disney-inspired piece.
Oh yeah. But it's got
another
a
quilt
mouse on there, and so they are so anxious to get back to the program, and you know I can understand that is just how it is. We all wanna you know get back and start doing stuff again, and being able to spend more time with each other, and possibly do more artwork or do a hat. This was one of Robin's hats that she did that I was helping her with. So you know I think once we start doing that, I'm thinking actually of having an artist come in and say hi in person. So maybe I can invite you to. It just came to me because you know all these wonderful people that I'm meeting, you know, artistically are amazing. Annie, do you have a question? Do you have a question, Annie? Oh, she's going to show you something.
Wonderful.
Virginia.
Oh, you've got your bag?
Hey, look at that.
Virginia.
Yeah.
Guess who called me?
Who called you? Kristen?
No.
Who?
Carol.
Oh, goodness. Everybody's calling.
Yeah, I embroider. I'm doing the embroidery on my bag here. And I started in several places, but I'm not finished with it yet. And I'm going to give it to my niece.
She's going to love it. I can tell already. It's going to be really good.
Hey, Junior.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
On Sunday, she'll come over and get me something.
Oh,
More cards.
More cards.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad she's giving you stuff too, because she's an amazing woman.
I'm not finished.
You're not finished?
Look at that.
I love, there's all kinds of stuff in there, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a real mixed media piece.
She has such a different type of art. She's got like little tiny houses with the little tall buildings. I love those. And then she's got all this other stuff that she's doing. They all
Virginia.
Thank you, timekeeper.
I'm so sorry I was late. I'm so regret that I was late.
That's
my
okay.
My yard was just so, it just trapped me. I was all stuck in the weeds, literally. But I'm so sad now that I missed more time with you.
That's okay. We'll definitely ask you back next month then.
Okay.
All right, good. So I will talk to you later. Thank you for coming. And thank you guys for being there. And
nice meeting all of you.
Yeah.
I look forward to seeing your work in person someday.
All right. Thank you, Gioia. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.